Hello, everybody. It is January 29th, 2026. My name is Xander, and I'm here to solve some puzzles. And I'm going to start with connections. So here we go. Okay. Well, I've got a children's author, but it also starts with silver, as does Goldilocks, as does bronzer, and that's about all I can see at the moment. Okay. Okay, liner notes, or just a liner on to, as protection, or makeup as his foundation, as his bronzer. There's stain. Is that a makeup? I don't wear makeup, I'm afraid. Well, we have gory, scary, or gory and scary, grim, grisly. These could just be adjectives for horror movies or just dire situations with an extra letter. I don't know if that would be purple. What else do we have? Fiberglass. Okay. Oh, I think I see. We've got mug, tumbler, glass, stein. That seems a little more purple, ending with vessels for drinks. So then we'd still have Goldilocks. Well, Goldilocks, bear, bed, porridge are just elements of the three bears. Goldilocks and the three bears. And then we'd have stain, liner, bronzer, and foundation, the makeup. So I'm going to go with this one here as purple. Ooh, that is not purple. So maybe it's the grim, gory, grisly, scary. That's purple. Homophones of words meaning brutal. Plus I guess they're just homophones. They don't need to have an extra letter. So scary. Is that really a homophone of scary, or is there another word I'm not thinking of? Okay. Goldilocks, bed, porridge, and bear. Either one of these could be yellow or green. So I'll just submit it. I already missed out on the reverse rainbow. There's the green. Here's makeup for the yellow. All right, let's check the bot. More straightforward. It was pretty straightforward. A little difficult to guess the blue versus purple. But yeah, the Goldilocks one was by far the most found first. And okay, children's author, including Grimm and Silverstein. That makes sense. I'm not aware of a scary or a gory. Fairy tale authors, including Smug. So, I mean, gory and scary are in there too. Otherwise, the only one of these that is actually a fairy tale author is Grimm that I'm aware of. Just right tale, including Grimm. So they left out bed. Embedded metal names: silver, gold, bronzer, and fiberglass. Well, I did see three of those. I don't believe fiber or glass is a metal. Makeup items, including fiberglass. I certainly hope that fiberglass is not used as a makeup. All right. There we go. Let's check out the strands. Talk of the town. So maybe gossip. I don't see gossip. What do I see? I see superstar. Maybe it's Hollywood. Superstar. I see claim. Claim to fame. Yeah. Superstar. Icon. Celebrity. Two more. Person. No. Personality. And hero. All right. That was Strands. Pretty straightforward. There we go. Let's check the Wordle. Word. Okay. Stock. Okay, L and a K. So maybe like full, not flat because the K doesn't go there, or flank or anything. Well, there's no N. Flaky. There we go. That was the Wordle. Let's check the bot. Okay, just one word left after stock. So narrowed it down pretty well there. All right, let's check the pips. Today we have 1 in, 2 Rodolfos. Let's check the easy. Greater than 5, that's all we got. And then we need to make 8 out of 3 and 5. So perhaps like so. There we go. That was the easy. Let's check the medium. That was one of my faster times recently, even for an easy. Let's check the medium. Okay, we got to make a bunch of 8s. What does this say? LP? So 8 and 1 domino. It's a 6-2. I think that's our only option. Then we need to make another 8. Maybe do that with 6, 1, and 1. That brings us another 4 here. Okay, 4, 0, 0, 2, 5. Well, there we go. There's the medium, pretty straightforward again. I don't know if that bodes well for the hard or not. Let's check it out. Ant, it says. Okay. So we've got a 10. We've got 1 at the end of this. So how many 1s do we have? Looks like we might only have 1 that would qualify. We also have a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lots of 5s, probably quite a few that qualify for a 2-cell equivalence region. You have 4 4-cell equivalence regions and a 3-cell. But let me see what we have 4 of. I know we have 4 5s, including 1 or plus 1 required 5 here, but I think we have enough for that. Well, also, which ones of these will need doubles? Possibly all of them. The only one that may not is this one, but no, this one must have a double. So we have 2s, 4s, 5s, 1s, 0s. 2s, 4s, 5, 1s, 0s. That's 5 things. I think this 3-size one will also need a double. So we have enough doubles. And I said 2s, 4s, 5s, 1s, 0s. So 3s and 6s are not in these equivalence regions, which makes sense. We have 3 required 3s, explicit 3s here. We need 1 6 here. We also only have 2 6s. All right. We have 6 2 and a 6 5. If it's 6 2, the 2s will need to be connected to something else that also has a double, which it does with 1s. The ones will need to be connected to something that can go into a void safely. Maybe I should just count how many I actually have of everything. Probably a bad idea because I'm not going to remember. But we have 4 ones, 5 zeros, 5 zeros, 4 ones, 5 twos. I'm guessing 3 threes. Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5 fours, 5 fives, 2 sixes. Yeah, I did forget everything, but I don't think there was 4 of anything except for ones. All right. We also have this 5 at the end here that needs to go into something we have 4 of. And there are 6 fives. Okay. So this is probably not a great place to start. Let's look at our threes. Threes are all buttoned up against stuff here. We have 3 4, 3 2, 3 5. We need all 6 of our fives. Right? Maybe not, because I said we had ones, twos, fours, fives, and zeros. That's 5 things that we have doubles of and 4 of. So one of them is not going to be necessary for a 4 size equivalence region. And also the 3 size equivalence region will need something, one of those ones I mentioned, because it's not going to be 3s and it's not going to be 6s. So I wonder if the 3 5 could go. I forgot where I was going with that. Anyway. What if we could do 5 5? No, we can't. I'm just going crazy here. All right. 3 5 here, let's say. There's 5 4s, 6 5s, 5 zeros. So one of these 3s is going to have to ditch one into the void. And it could be the 4 because we have an extra one. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 twos. Can't get rid of another 4. We can get rid of another 6. So maybe that does make this a good candidate to be 5s because the 6 can go here. Could also go here. So we have a 6 2. Not really, because, well, we could switch these. This could be 4s. 3 2 could go down here. 4s up here. 2 2s. What do we have left as far as 2s go? 1s. All we have left is a 1 0. This is not. Will this work? Let's see. It will. How about that? Okay. All right. That was the hard puzzle. I kind of figured that out. I got lucky with these 5s here, but there we go. Yeah, I finished everything, right? I believe I did. All right. That was the daily games. Thank you for joining me. Hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.